Hey, it's Imani again. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about a very specific subject, and that is maher, and all about my Japanese straightening treatment experience. I will be talking all about my experience with getting my hair chemically straightened, exactly what it entails, what you should expect, pricing, and all that other jazz. If you guys are interested in hearing about that, then please keep on watching. I really hope, by the way, that this is enough lighting. I'm sorry guys, I don't have any lighting equipment with me here. It's all at my house, so we're just kind of running on natural lighting right here. And the sun is actually, it's midday, so the sun's wanting to go down very soon. So I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible while also being as informative as possible. I actually have some notes here in case I forgot to go over anything. I wanna make sure that I literally remember everything. Otherwise, this video will be super pointless for you guys. So, what is Japanese straightening? Or in other words, thermal reconditioning, as a lot of salons like to call it. Japanese straightening is actually a chemical procedure that uses heat to reconstruct the hair's protein bond. So this allows people who have naturally curly, frizzy, really coarse hair to have permanently straight hair. I'm not kidding, like your hair will be permanently straight, which is really cool for some people. For others, not so much, which is why you need to seriously do your research and seriously think about it before you do get this treatment, because again, it's forever. And I mean that 100%. You will not be able to reverse it. Your hair will never be the same. It is not going back to the way it was. It will remain straight. However, if you do want your hair to go back to the way it was before, you can always grow it out. But the problem with that is the hair that grows out is going to be, you know, your natural texture at your roots, of course. But the hair that's already out is still going to be straight no matter what you do to it. It is going to stay that way. So if you choose, you will either have to shave your hair completely off, which I know some people may not want to do, even though it's a look for some people. It's a look. I've considered it. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, you will have to grow your hair out to a certain length and then literally cut these straight pieces off. I'm telling you guys that right now, so no one comes for me saying like, oh, you know, Imani,
I thought my hair would go back to the way it was after a couple washes. What have you done?
But no, girlfriend. I told you, it's never gonna be the same. Your hair will be straight. But I don't want to put that in a negative way, because clearly I got the treatment and I love it. So basically, to give you guys a little bit of rundown about the process, it is a pretty long process. Like, and I mean long. Honestly though, it did go by kind of fast for me, not only because I have shorter hair, but also just, you know, because the people there, they were just talking to me, time was going by, I just felt like I was kind of hanging out with friends. Also, I brought my AirPods so that I can listen to music or whatever. Time ends up going decently fast if you're keeping yourself busy. But if you're just sitting there in the chair waiting for time to go by, you're gonna be there all day. So first things first, if you are thinking about getting this treatment, you are not going to be able to just go into the salon and request it and get it. That's not how it works. You actually have to have a hair consultation first, meaning whoever is doing your hair has to take a look at your hair's condition first. They have to see if you are a good candidate. If you are not a good candidate, then they'll probably suggest something else that's similar. You may not be eligible for this type of treatment. I honestly was afraid that I wasn't going to be, because the condition my hair was in was just... But honestly, just trust your stylist. And another thing is, you want to be completely honest about your hair. So if your stylist asks you questions about your hair's past and what's been done to it, you need to let them know. Otherwise, this could be a very bad situation for you. For instance, I had told my stylist that I had had a keratin treatment probably about 7 months prior to getting this Japanese treatment. Although enough time had passed between the time that I got the first treatment and this treatment, and it was totally fine, but I still wanted to let my stylist know just in case that was going to be a problem. You don't want to get two different treatments that close together, otherwise it could cause your hair to fall out the same. None of us want that. Also, your stylist needs to determine how much your hair can take. If your hair is extremely damaged, you probably won't be a good candidate. Maybe they could still do it, but they're not going to use as much chemical on you or at as high of a level. For instance, that's kind of what happened with me. Since my hair was in such a damaged state, my stylist actually could not use as high of a chemical on my hair because my hair could not take it. He wanted to be gentle with it first so that it can get used to the treatment, and then we will go back for a follow-up to make it even smoother. So basically, my hair can get even straighter and smoother than this, but this time around we didn't want to put too much on it, otherwise it wouldn't have been a good situation for me. So the way it's done is your stylist will, of course, give you a consultation, then set your next appointment. Sometimes, depending on where you go, maybe it's the same day. Maybe you can get your treatment that same day. But for me, I had to do it weeks in advance, and then we made my treatment later on down the road. When you go in for your actual appointment, you want to go in with super clean hair. You don't want to necessarily wash your hair the day of. You probably want to do it maybe the day prior or a couple days prior. just to make sure your hair is as clean as possible. To be honest, they're probably still going to wash your hair when you get there. You just basically don't want to come in with a lot of product buildup. Otherwise, it just slows things down and they're gonna have to really deeply wash your hair, probably multiple times. They need to start with a clean slate. Then what they're going to do is apply the treatment. Depending on how long it takes your hair to process, you may be sitting there for 30 minutes, you may be sitting there for an hour. I was sitting there for a much shorter period of time just because, again, my hair was extremely damaged and he didn't want me sitting there with the chemical too long in my hair. So next time we probably will, sorry, there's like a train going by right now. Next time we probably will let it sit a little bit longer, but my hair did take to it super fast. And I don't want to scare anyone. If your hair is completely healthy and your hair is in pretty good condition, even if it's not 100%, it probably will be just fine. I'm just telling you about my hair and why it was a danger for me. I will get to the pros and the cons later on. Just bear with me here. So anyways, when the chemical is applied, you've sat long enough, they're actually going to take you to wash and rinse again. Once they have done that, they're going to bring you back to the chair. They're going to blow dry and then flat iron your hair to seal in that chemical and basically rebond your hair. So now it is permanently straight at this point. However, after they've done that, they will also need to section out your hair and apply a neutralizer. The neutralizer is going to stop the chemical from basically continuing to process. You don't want your hair to over process, so you need to apply a neutralizer to get it to stop, basically. Once the neutralizer is applied, they will then wash and dry your hair once more, and then they will straighten it for the final step. After this, you should have silky, shiny, beautiful, straight hair. Results may vary depending on the person's hair type and hair texture, but overall it's just about the same. Your hair is going to be smoother, it's going to be silkier, it's going to be softer, it's going to be shiny, and it's going to be permanently straight. So I just wanted to take a minute to show you guys my hair because I know that some people are going to be wondering what it looks like, and here it is. So this is my hair. This is what it looks like. It's very short right now because I mentioned in my previous video that I had just gotten a haircut. I didn't mention to you guys though that I had this treatment, so I wanted to do a whole separate video on it. But yes, so this is what it looks like. I will show you a little back view so you can see. It's very flowy, it's decently soft. I still have a little bit of split ends because they go very high up. He cut off as much as he could, and it's already in a lot better condition than it was before. And it is still a little bit uneven some places, but it looks good overall. So this is how my hair is going to be forever now, unless I grow it out and unless I stop getting the treatment, which I don't think I'm gonna do. Maybe a couple of years in the future, but I plan on getting this for a very long time. This is how I prefer my hair to be. So even if I wet my hair, I jump in a pool, I go out in the rain, it's still going to be straight. It will not curl up on me. Also, when I blow dry my hair now, it is a lot quicker. Regardless of having shorter hair before getting this treatment, it still used to take me a really long time to blow dry my hair, and now it's just like super quick. I can probably get it done in like 10 to 15 minutes. It used to take me like 20 to 30 before. But yeah, it's just done a lot of good for me, and it's so much easier to manage now. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I got this treatment. I love the fact that I decided to finally do it. I'm mad that I didn't do it sooner because my hair would have probably been in way better condition than it has been in so long. So a little background on me and my hair. My hair has been literally a roller coaster ride for me. I cannot tell you how many years I have struggled with my hair. It's almost unreal at this point. So let's take it back all the way to childhood. I used to have very thick, very curly, very long, and just frizzy hair. It used to be just a lot to handle. I will insert some pictures here or here. I'll insert some pictures throughout the video so that you guys can see what I mean. But yeah, that was the hair that I was that I came up with. It was always a lot to handle. I pretty much could never do my own hair. When my mom used to do my hair, it would be these really cute little styles. She would just have it in braids most of the time. It would just be out of the way because if I was to leave my hair down, oh my god, it would be like a lion's mane. It would be so hard to detangle. It would be like, I was very tender-headed too, so I didn't like anybody combing my hair, brushing my hair. I didn't like my hair being touched. It was just a lot for me, and it was just very heavy. I did not enjoy my hair. I didn't appreciate it at all. And throughout my childhood, like family members, friends, everybody would always tell me, oh, appreciate your hair now. You're gonna regret all this in the future. You know, you have really beautiful hair. But at the time, I just didn't care. My hair was like the bane of my existence. I'm not kidding. But now I have learned my lesson, and I do wish that I really left my hair alone, but we'll get into that. So anyway, as I got older and kind of was old enough to start doing my own hair, my mom, she obviously steered away a lot. She just kind of let me take the wheels, but really I couldn't do much to it because again, I had such a hard time managing. It was just so much work for me. I was like, I struggled. So pretty much my only styles, I would do like a poofy low ponytail, I would do a bun, and maybe a braid. And that's it. That's literally all I could do with my hair. But I always tried my best because I didn't want my mom to have to do my hair forever. As I got older and I got into middle school, I think around 6th grade, that's kind of where the bullying started. I was bullied relentlessly about my hair. And it's crazy to think how much I cared about other people's opinions back then. I was so incredibly affected by people's words. Like, you guys have no idea. I would come home every single day, cry to myself, wonder why everybody hated me, wondered why I wasn't cute, why I wasn't pretty. I just felt so defeated, and I thought it was all because of my hair. Not only that, but some of like other appearance, but a lot of it had to do with my hair too. And I was just constantly trying to find a way out, basically. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I decided that I wanted to get my hair cut, which already I was so excited for because, like I said, my hair was so long. And again, like I said, I'll insert pictures here so that you guys can see what I mean. That is if I can find any. It's really hard for me to find pictures from those years, but I think I still have a few around. I wanted to get my hair cut. I wanted it short so that I can manage it better. I wanted to try my best to make myself look more presentable and make it cuter. My mom agreed. I finally got my hair cut. It was very short. It was about up to here, and I was so excited. I felt so much lighter. I felt like I can manage it better. I started experimenting with different styles, and I loved it. And for a short period of time, I did feel like the bullying stopped, kinda, but then it started focusing more on other things. And I was just like, I can't win, okay? I cannot win. Obviously hair grows back, so that excitement didn't last for long. My hair grew back really, really quickly, and I was kind of back to square one where I was just like, oh my god, I don't like my hair. I just want it gone. I can't deal with this texture. I can't deal with how thick it is. My hair stressed me out so much. So I pretty much just resorted to wearing buns every single day. I literally wore a bun so much, like every single day of school. Again, if I can find a picture of that, I will try to insert it somewhere here. Then the bullying really amped up after that. People started complaining about how much I wore a bun. They said,
why do you wear a bun?
Why do you never wear your hair down?
You look ridiculous with the bun.
You have a giant forehead.
Why do you look like that? Why do you always have that bun on the top of your head?
Why do you always have that bun in the back of your head?
I could not escape. And like really, like I really wish they understood what I went through, how hard it was having my hair. Like they just did not understand. I literally only did that style because that's all I could do. A, to keep it out of my way. B, to keep it detangled so that I didn't have to deal with pain and suffering later. And C, because it was a very easy and clean looking style to me. So I just felt like, hey, this is what I got, you know? Fast forward to 7th and 8th grade. This is where I discovered heat for the first time. I know. This is when it literally took a turn for the worst. I would put everything under the sun in my hair just to get the texture to make it look juicier, to make it look not so frizzy, not so dry. Like I wanted my hair to look beautiful, and I could not get it to that point. Unbeknownst to me, it looked beautiful always, but I couldn't see that as a young kid. You know what I mean? My hair was always beautiful. I just could never see that as a kid, regardless of what anyone told me. All of the negative voices outweighed all the positive. I couldn't even hear the positive voices. I wasn't paying attention to those. I was paying attention to the negative thoughts. Finally, you know, I wasn't called ugly all the time. I wasn't complained at all the time for wearing a bun. I was really starting to learn and experiment with my hair, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing when it came to like products, but the heat is what became my biggest downfall. When I discovered the flat iron, I just started to flat iron my hair pretty much every single day. And at that age, I had no idea what heat protectant was to save my life. Like I never put heat protectant in my hair. Anything protective, I didn't do. I just straight up singed my hair every single day just to try to get it more manageable. And I loved it. I honestly loved my hair so much straight. Like it was just like magic to me. This was something I had never experienced, like the ease of having straight hair, the ease of not having to do much to it just to try to make it look good. And I really hope I don't come off the wrong way in this video saying that like straight hair is better than curly or frizzy, or all hair types are beautiful. Just because I didn't appreciate my own and I had trouble managing my own does not mean you shouldn't appreciate yours, and does not mean that you have trouble with it and you should be ashamed of it, because your hair is beautiful, girl, no matter what. Don't listen to what anybody says. Own your hair. But what I'm trying to get at is, at that age, I really felt like that's what it was to look beautiful. Like, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy right now. I just literally felt like there was no other way. And a lot of that was because of the bullying I had experienced growing up. I just, for the first time, I felt confident in myself when I had straight hair. So I ran with that. Literally, that flat iron was my bestie. I can't even remember what flat iron I used, but it was probably a really crappy one that like added to the destruction of my hair. It was probably a crappy flat iron. I probably had it all the way up to like 460,000 degrees. I'm so sorry about the sun glares. Let me see if I can. There you go. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to like go as fast as I can so that this video doesn't end up being like 1,000 years long, and also I don't lose too much natural lighting. So of course you can kind of guess what happened after an extended period of time flat ironing my hair every single day. My hair completely transformed. Like, my hair became so dry, so brittle, so fragile. It was literally breaking off like every single day into my hands. It was falling out everywhere. Just watching the texture of it change. And at the time, it just took so long to click on why that was happening. Like, I almost felt like I knew, but I didn't at the same time. It was crazy. Like, I felt like I knew I was doing it to myself, but then at the same time, I didn't understand why it was happening. I felt like I saw other people do it and they were totally fine. I just had no education on how to take care of my hair. I was literally dumbfounded. So I just continued to damage it and destroy it, and it was just like consistently spiraling out of control. My hair had gotten so short. It was just like, it was extremely uncomfortable for me. I just did not feel confident in myself anymore. My confidence completely dwindled. I felt so defeated. I had even decided a couple of times that I was gonna try to wear my hair naturally, but even then that didn't work. Like, my natural texture had gone. I can no longer get it to curl up anymore. It was just so far gone, so far gone. Not only that, but I had even decided at one point to bleach my hair. I know, crazy. Like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? But anyway, yeah, I had decided to bleach my hair, which was absolutely, like, why would I do that? Why? Not only that, not only did I decide to bleach my hair, but I pretty much decided to bleach it all at once. And bear with me on this. Like, do you know what I mean? I literally like fully processed it at once. When you bleach your hair, you are supposed to literally do it in, you know what I mean, like increments. You're not supposed to just full on put the highest amount of bleach in your hair and expect it to lighten as much as you want. This completely fried my hair. Like, my hair, I'm surprised all of it didn't just fall off of my head, even though it was falling out, but like, I'm surprised all of it didn't just like fall into the sink that day. It looked pretty bad. My hair was not only brassy, it was crinkly and fried at the ends. It was dry and just, it looked awful. And I really wish at the time that I was smart enough to know that the stylist should have warned me about this. I went to a very cheap salon, for one. For two, the stylist there just didn't seem to really care. She just gave me what I asked for, and I like should have educated myself first, so I guess it wasn't totally her fault, but I really wish that I had known not to do that and not to be stupid. And again, not judging anybody for their decisions on their hair. Like, if that's what you do to your hair and you're okay with it and your hair is still fine, you keep doing that. This is just literally my experience, and this is what happened to me. And again, it was like probably the completely wrong product. It was probably just way too much chemical for my hair. It was just not done right. So anyway, after that, I literally had to try my best to get my hair to grow some of that blonde out, which it did, but it still just wasn't looking good. And all of this time, I'm trying so hard to hold on to at least some of the length of my hair. I wanted to cry every single day. My hair looked horrible. It just was awful, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I really wish I had like a lot of the pictures I took back then, but I think I only have a few. I will really try my best to put pictures so that you guys know what I mean? But yeah, it just looked awful. I could barely do anything with it anymore. And I was still applying heat at this point. Don't you want to slap me through this camera? I want to slap myself. Looking back at all this is so cringy to me because I couldn't believe like everything I was doing to myself while still trying to save my hair. Like, I wish I had like a personal hair mentor back then that could literally take the wheels and just to help me through that journey because I was struggling. So my mom is Filipino and Greek. My mom's hair is completely different than mine. She has straight hair. May have like a little wave to it from time to time, but for the most part, her hair is straight. She has never had to deal with this madness that I'm speaking of. So my mom wasn't like the best hair mentor back then. She had no idea about my type of hair and like how to manage this type of hair. She did a really good job at styling it, but as for upkeep and like really taking care of it and making sure that it was in really good condition or to nurse it back to health from what it was, she had no idea. So I could never go to my mom about it. Trust me, she wouldn't have known. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you so much. I promise. I love you. But anyways, yes, I had finally managed to grow it out to kind of a decent point. It was still extremely short and damaged, but I grew it out enough to where a lot of the blonde had gone and I could finally dye it back to dark. So that is exactly what I did. After that point, my hair had gotten in a little bit better condition. Don't get me wrong, it still looked really bad, but it looked a lot better than it did when it was blonde. Trust me. And from that point on, honestly, my hair has just like never been the same. I have never, and this has been again since middle school. I'm almost 27 now. So imagine how long that's been. It has been a up and down battle with my hair. It has never gone back to the same way it was before. I honestly think my hair will never be the same unless I literally just shave it bald and grow it back from the roots, which I'm probably not going to do. I don't know. I'm not gonna say never. Maybe I will one day. I don't have the courage for that right now. All of these other girls I've seen on YouTube do that. I am like I look up to you guys. Like I'm just so scared and they look amazing after. And that's still not enough for me to actually do it to myself. Like I really want to have that kind of courage that they do. You guys are my heroes. But anyway, I have tried relentlessly, continuously to get it to grow back out, to get it back to a healthy state. And it's just never really done it. It's had a few times where it's been kind of getting there, but it always ends up reverting back to being in an extremely damaged state. And that is because to this day, I still could not leave the flat iron alone. And you guys, I've just come to a conclusion, and please don't attack me for this. Like this is just, and I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one because I see a lot of people on YouTube like this. So please don't judge me, but I have come to the realization that this is just how I prefer my hair. And I don't mean that I prefer my hair to be damaged or like literally destroyed and vaporized. All I mean is that I prefer my hair to be straight. It's just how I prefer my hair to be. Not only because I like how it looks on me, but because it is easier for me to manage. It is by far the easiest way for me to manage my hair. I have just never been someone who has really learned and really took the time to try to learn how to take care of my natural hair and really embraced my natural hair texture. Like now I do realize how beautiful it actually was and how much I should have appreciated it, but I also don't really have regret in preferring it to be straight. Again, because it is the easiest way for me to manage it. I just like my hair like this, guys. I'm sorry. I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there who disagree, and I know that you may think I'm an idiot for saying this or doing this to my hair, but which I am to an extent. Like I am an idiot for not applying heat in the proper way, but really what I've learned is heat is not the enemy, it's how you use it. As I've gotten older, I've been trying to get better at that. I've definitely incorporated a lot more heat protectant into my hair and have just tried taking better care of it overall with certain products, and it has definitely helped. That being said, it is still in a damaged state. I have had so many times where my hair has tried to grow out, like it's gotten pretty long, and it's just literally reverted back to being short because it starts to break off again. I have the hardest time retaining length in my hair because of the flat iron. And I know, like, you're probably like, well, you just said you prefer your hair to be straight. I don't get, you want your hair to be healthy, but you also want it to be straight. I know guys, but hear me out. That is why I went ahead and finally did this treatment to my hair. It is perfectly fine to want your hair to be a certain way. If you prefer your hair to be a certain way, it shouldn't matter what other people think and what other people say about it. For instance, if you're somebody who likes to color your hair and you love your hair to be bright pink and bright blue and bright green and all of these sizes, funky colors. You should be able to do that without the judgment of other people. This is just how I like my hair to be. I will probably not be wearing it natural again anytime soon. I mean, of course, because I got this permanent treatment now, so definitely not. But even if I wasn't to have this treatment, I probably still wouldn't. That is the whole reason why I got this treatment, because this will allow me to finally leave my hair alone from the flat iron. Granted, I still pass over it very, very lightly on a very low temperature, sometimes to just make sure that it looks as nice as it can, because obviously sometimes you do still get kinks and little like right now it's like flipped out. I didn't do that, it's just doing that on its own. I did just have it in a bun today, so it's like kind of kinked a little bit, but I'm fine with that. It's just times when it looks a little wild, I want to make sure that it looks neat. So that's the only time I really apply heat to it, and of course blow drying, but I always apply a heat protectant. I just wanted to go over my hair story so that you guys kind of know the whole reason why I got this done. My hair already feels 100 times better than it did before, and I really do feel that it will help a lot. It will allow not only my hair to breathe from the flat iron all the time, but it will allow it to grow, just overall be on the road to recovery. It's really amazing that I just don't have to apply as much heat, and my hair in turn will not take as much damage. Of course, my hair is going to be growing out, so they do recommend that you go back every, I think, 6 to 8 months, which is really good because that means that I don't have to do anything to my hair for another 6 to 8 months. So again, this whole treatment is basically, like, in my opinion, the smarter way of going about it if you do prefer your hair straightened. Now, I wanted to end this video by answering a few commonly asked questions in case you're curious and you are considering getting this treatment done. I wanted to answer those questions and also give you a little bit of advice if you are considering getting this treatment. The first thing is you want to make sure that you are going to an experienced stylist. The stylist I went to's name is Patrick Evan. Where I got my hair done was Patrick Evan Salon in San Francisco. If you are from California, you know where San Francisco is. Patrick has had over 20 years experience in specifically this. This is like literally what he does. He does thermal reconditioning. That is pretty much all he does at the salon. So it's really good to go to someone who is very experienced and it's just their forte. It's what they do. They'll be really good at doing the treatment. And I think Patrick did a really good job at not only cutting my hair shorter, but also doing the treatment. It looks really, really good. So shout out to you, Patrick. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering how much this treatment costs. I'm not gonna lie to you, it ain't cheap. No, I mean, I guess that really depends on how much money you have. It could be cheap to you, it could be very, very expensive to you. For me, very expensive, but also worth it. The pricing for this treatment can range anywhere between, I believe, $400 and $700. Ouch. In total, I paid $600 for mine, plus a tip. You always want to tip your stylist. It's a lot of work they do, especially chemical straightening. It's a lot of work. So wanted to make sure I tipped. But yes, it was very expensive, not only because it is permanent, but the chemicals they use are very expensive. So it's definitely a lot. But again, the result is worth it, and I just felt like it was the best thing to do for my hair. So I went ahead and did it. That leads me to my next advice. Never go to a salon that is offering thermal reconditioning for a low price. I would not trust that in the slightest. Not only can you be setting yourself up for failure by getting your hair extremely damaged from that, but it's just not good because you probably aren't dealing with an experienced stylist. And again, you want to make sure you have an experienced stylist. All I'm gonna say. Now, another commonly asked question is, does it damage your hair? Anytime you add any kind of chemical treatment to your hair, no matter what it is, it's going to have some degree of damage. So in short, yes, it does slightly damage your hair. However, once again, the overall result of the treatment and the overall long-term results of the treatment is completely worth it, especially if your hair is in really good condition already. This will help it so much. Also, an added benefit will be a lot easier for you to manage. Once again, as for upkeep, you just want to make sure that you are using appropriate products on your hair. You don't want to be using any shampoos with sulfates. Sulfates can be very harmful. You want to make sure that your hair is kept smooth and in really good condition. You don't want to dry out your hair. You want to keep it moisturized. I recommend using a really good oil, a really good shampoo and conditioner. I'm sure there's some at the salon they can recommend to you. I'll show you guys a few of the ones that I'm using currently. The ones I am using currently are the Art Naturals shampoo. This is the biotin lemon and rice water shampoo. So this one is really good at stimulating, volumizing, and just really deep cleansing your hair without drying it out. So it doesn't have any sulfates or parabens, anything like that. And I also have the matching conditioner with that. So these work really well together. And recently, I've also been using this Not Your Mother's Anti-Frizz shampoo. This one is really good at smoothing. It says literally here 5 times smoother hair, which I'm all about. I want smooth hair. So just make sure you're using really good products in your hair. That's it. And I think that's a good spot to go ahead and wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you are all well. I hope you are all safe. And until next time, bye!